welcome back to No Pants Profits. My name is Richard and I am here in New York City. New York with Trish and Bill, Tig Old Biddies, and Pirate Captain Bill. You have your pirate hat, right? Just not today.
Yes.
Yeah. You have it in your bag. And today I said, you have never seen a Broadway play or a musical or anything like that.
Nope, I saw Hamilton on Disney Channel.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah. So we're going to go see Stranger Things later tonight, but before that, I'm taking them on something called The Ride. Now, I did this personally about 7 years ago. I was very much impressed. You know nothing about it other than it involves something to do with
a bus.
So there are multiple of the rides now. They actually have 4 buses. I think this was like the lunch break they just did. So I think all the buses are in, or some of the buses are in. What is the ride? Well, you're going to have to stick around to find out. It's part Broadway show, part cash cab, part tour. It's a little bit weird. So come along for a ride on the ride, and we'll see your reaction. And because you have no clue what this is.
We have no clue.
You know what the cash cab is. This is about all you got. And you understand what a Broadway musical is, right? And you understand it's shit weather outside.
And I didn't look anything up on purpose.
Okay. So we'll see what you think about the ride. Yeah, so the bus is here, but you check in under the Five Guys sign. They've got people that have the ride staff. Again, last time I did this, it was bare bones as hell. It looks like a normal bus, but you'll see it's anything but a normal bus. This is right, literally, on 42nd Street, like where the 42nd Street used to be, the 42nd Street show. There's an AMC theater. There's also Aladdin right there, but we'll see what the ride is all about.
Seat belts. Everyone needs to look to their left-hand side. Right-hand side. I was facing the wrong way. Pull that across your waist. Give me a big thumbs up when you've got it, okay?
If you can't find it, you can always stand up to find it. We really can't get much further.
There is no
seatbelt, it's because
there are no seatbelts! Guys, I'm standing up. Do you really think you get a seatbelt?
I can do jumping jacks. We're in America. We don't care about your safety. We care about your fun.
Right. First lesson in New York, don't trust anybody.
Yeah.
Okay?
That was kind of mean.
That was a very mean trick. Let's get them back on time. Let's do some introductions. We kind of got to know who you are. You have no idea who we are. So everyone, look towards the front of the bus. Down there, you're going to see my very best friend in the whole entire bus. Her name is Jackie. On the count of 3, let's all say hi, Jackie. 1, 2, 3.
Hi, Jackie. Hi, bus. Last time I heard an introduction like that, it was a very different kind of meeting. Look at that, that tall glass of water. He's my best friend of the last 10 minutes. On the count of 3, let's say hi, Scott. 1, 2, 3. Hi, Scott.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for all that love. We've got one more introduction to make. It's a big one. It's the ride himself. Ooh. So again, on 3, let's all say hi, the ride. 1, 2, 3.
Hi, the ride. You broke him.
Hey guys, I'm the ride.
He talks.
And hold on tight.
Okay.
Because you're about to experience the greatest place in the world.
Kansas.
This is New York City. In 3, 2, 1.
It's a treat, you're about to see something sweet. New York City isn't silly and serious, and inside the ride is the best experience. If the city's not alive enough, we're gonna live it up, so get inside the bus. Now it's time to go and let your mind be blown. Get on, find out, enjoy the show.
New York City is the place to be, so get on, find out, and take a ride with me. So many sights to see. Let the streets come alive, take a ride with me. Bright lights, Times Square, Broadway, oh yeah, dreams born, keep the stride, push the streets,
We're getting some energy into this bus right now. And the only way to do that is with the wave. So in the count of 3, we're going to send the wave from the skipper all the way down to Wichita. 1, 2, 3.
Okay guys, that was pretty good. Not terrible. Let's send it back. Let's make sure it wasn't a fluke. 1, 2, 3. Woo!
One more time. Slow motion. 1, 2, 3.
Very nice.
Bright lights, Times Square, Broadway. way. Oh yeah.
Dreams, many
Watch the streets come alive. Guys, give yourselves a round of applause. You were amazing. We were amazing. And thank you so much. That's our show.
Don't let the curtain hit you on the way out.
Bye.
They're not moving,
They're not
Scott.
going anywhere. I think they know that we're just kidding.
Ooh, we're going to be together for the next 36 hours. That's going to give you plenty of time to take lots of pictures, lots of videos, post them online, tag at The Ride NYC. We're on Facebook, whatever they're calling Twitter these days, Instagram. I'm on Bumble, Tinder, Farmers Only, Christian Mingle, Uber Eats. I'm trying it all, folks.
That's right, but guys, we're on a very special mission here today to find out what makes New York City the greatest city in the world, why the millions of people live here, why the millions of people like yourselves visit every year, and why am I still single?
Wow.
I don't get it.
It's a mystery. We've got lots of technology today to help us with that. We've got these lovely LED lights in the front that change color when you touch them.
Ooh. Come on, Kansas.
We've also got these lovely little screens. I wouldn't recommend touching them. They hail from an ancient place called Radio Shack. They might explode. And then finally, our most cutting-edge piece of technology, that is, if you jump through it, Windows. Ooh. Cool thing about Windows, we can see how people can see in, which means we get lots of attention.
That's right. We're going to see all different types of waves today. We'll see the classic one-handed wave. We call that the tourist wave. We'll see some two-handed waves. We call that the dad wave. And friends, we might even see some one-finger waves. And guys, it's not this finger, but that's okay. If a New Yorker gives you the finger, they're just telling you that you are number one, and you have my permission to give that finger right back.
Yep.
We have our own special way of communicating. It's called the ride wave. I want everyone to put both hands up, and let's make a lot of noise. 1, 2, 3. Hello! And you know what? We're in Times Square, home to the biggest party of the year. So why don't we do a New Year's Eve countdown from 5? Let's do it. The ride. You ready?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Happy New Year! Happy New Year, everybody! Oh, Jackie found a friend. Oh, Jackie. I'm going to do it all differently this year. I'm gonna eat my vegetables. Do my homework.
Gonna eat a vegetable?
But you know what? I think it's time to party! Everybody raise the roof, raise the roof, raise the roof, raise the roof, raise the roof. Now put that roof back on. 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 Now milk the cow. Milk the cow. Milk the cow. Now drink the milk. Drink the milk. Drink the milk. Guys, you're going to celebrate New Year's Eve in Times Square.
Wow.
Tell everyone, leave out the fact it was on the bus in May. No one needs to know that.
Nope.
That's what Facebook is for, lying.
Yeah, I've been a doctor for 5 years on Facebook.
I love that. But guys, here we are. We're in Times Square.
We are.
But Times Square wasn't always called Times Square.
Nope.
It used to be called Longacre Square. Believe it or not, this was the northernmost part of New York City. There was nothing here. It was farmland. It was pastures. And as the city expanded, they tried to encourage businesses to move up to Longacre Square. One of those businesses was the New York Times, who said, you know what, yes, we will move our headquarters to Longacre Square, but on one condition. You have to rename it after us. And that's exactly what happened. In 1904, the New York Times moved their headquarters to Longacre Square, and it became Times Square, and the rest is history. They moved into one Times Square, which we will see in just a second. But I want to point this out. You might have noticed a lot of sailors around town right now. It's Fleet Week here in New York City, and we have a little display here from the Navy diving people. If you like the Navy, if you like boats, go down to the Hudson River. You can see them all lined up over there right now for the whole week.
It's really appropriate because right now they are standing on Military Island, which is where that iconic photo, the photo that ended the war, was taking place with the famous kiss with the nurse. Turns out he was on his first date with another girl and he went outside and he kissed somebody completely different, but he did end up marrying the girl he was on the date with.
Amazing. But this building here, this is 1 Times Square, former home to the New York Times. They've long since gone, and you can see right now it's going under a massive renovation. They're spending $500 million on this building to make a brand new museum to Times Square, a new observation deck, the works. You can see it's empty right now while they're doing the renovations, obviously, but this building's been empty for a very long time. A long time ago, the owners realized they actually make more money renting the outside of the building for billboards and advertising than actually having tenants in the building. So before these renovations started, they made about $28 million a year just renting the outside of the building for billboards. That's right, it was bright and flashy on the outside and hollow and empty on the inside. They call it the Kardashian building. That's right.
Now on top of that building is where they normally drop that New Year's Eve ball, but if you look at it and when we get a better view of it later, you're going to see there's no ball on the top of that building, and that is because it is currently under renovation. This year we had that last 7th iteration of the ball, so this will be our 8th. It will be largest, it will have more color combination opportunities, and it will be more environmentally eco-friendly.
That's right. Now I'm getting a lot of looks from some of my friends here. And it's a look I've seen before. It's a look that says, how is it that 2 such good looking people know so much about New York City?
Guys.
Because normally beautiful people are stupid. But here's the thing, I do know a little bit about New York, and so does Jackie, but the real brains is the ride. The ride knows everything. The ride's got a skill called scanning. He shoots lasers, he scans things, he reports back to us. I'm gonna just, the ride, show them what I'm talking about.
Maybe something really beautiful and really cool.
Subject, Scott.
Oh, it's you!
Hey, that's me.
Ride operator. Son, Aries.
I'm emotional.
Alma mater, Columbia.
With honors.
Favorite TV show, Battlestar Galactica. Fun fact, recently walked the perimeter of Manhattan.
That is true though. I walked all the way around Manhattan. It's 32 miles around this island. You can do it in a day, so it's a little bit longer than a marathon. And here we call that the Great Saunter. Believe it or not, there is a pathway around the island, and if you ever hear someone say they're off to do the Great Saunter, it means they're going to walk around Manhattan. And I say this a lot, the best way to see New York City is the ride, of course. The second best way is with your feet, by just getting out there and exploring everything this amazing city has to offer.
Absolutely. Now we just passed Broadway. A lot of the avenues here have taken over personalities, and Broadway has taken over obviously for theater, but it has a rich history here in New York. It bisects the grid system here in New York. New York is built on a rigid grid system, and Broadway moves down on a diagonal. It is one of the oldest roads in North America because it began as a Lenape trading line. But you know what? We're talking a little bit about Broadway. The biggest fan of the Broadway is the ride himself.
Yep.
But he likes the classics. He likes this. From 42nd Street. It's called We're in the Money. I hate singing. I won't sing for you guys. Guys, I'm so shy. I'm not going to sing for you guys. Stop.
We're in the money. We're in the money. We got a lot of what it takes to get along. Your turn.
He's more of a dancer.
Come on. I have a better idea then. Let's put the music onto the street. Let's see if any New Yorkers like it. The ride, pump it up out there. You with the umbrella. Do you like our song? No.
Other you with the umbrella.
Other person with the umbrella. No.
You with the broom.
Oh, with the broom.
Do you like our music?
Do you like our song? Come on. Come on, broom guy. Come on. Oh. Oh. Yeah, a little bit more. Oh. Oh.
Yeah.
Come on.
Don't take out that lady.
Oh!
Wow. Oh my goodness.
Only in New York will you see that, and only in New York will they have an noble care. People just keep on walking. It's like, don't look at him, don't look at him, he's going to ask for money, just keep on
Oh
walking.
my goodness, that's actually why the streets look like that here, because all of our street sweepers keep bursting into song and dance.
Wow, he really was singing in the rain there.
We
Amazing.
are getting a very nice view of Bryant Park, but we are about to hit our second stop. It is the New York City Rich People Zoo. Ooh, we keep them under plastic to keep them fresh.
Ooh.
Don't tap on the glass, it irritates them.
But that was so much fun, Jackie. I want to keep that energy going. Would you
Okay.
play a game with me?
Yeah, please.
Let's do our very first Ride Quiz.
This is the Ride Quiz, and this is the Ride Quiz song. Now everybody clap along. Okay, thank you guys for the very organic applause. I really appreciate it. Didn't
Give it up for Jackie. She
Thank
wrote
you.
that so talented.
I did, thank you.
Beautiful song,
Thank
but
you.
it didn't tell us anything about the Ride Quiz. So let me explain. It's very simple.
Okay.
We're going to ask you guys questions about New York City, and you're going to give us answers. But
Ooh.
here's the thing. We're in New York. New Yorkers are loud and rude. You need to yell out those answers. Because I know you all come from very polite places like Florida and Kansas and
Kansas
other
again.
places. So, if I see a polite little hand up in the air, I'm just going to think that you're choking, which means I have to do the New York City Heimlich maneuver, which means I'm going to walk away. It's not my problem, okay? So let's yell out those answers, and if you get those answers right, you're going to win something called Ride Points!
Now these ride points are a lot like Scott and my musical theater degree. Here on the bus they mean oh so much, but off the bus they are practically worthless. You cannot redeem them at any stores.
That's right.
And if you get the most amount of these points, you are going to be crowned our Ride Quiz champion. But like I said, I do theater, I don't do math, so you're going to need to keep track of your own points. We've been talking so much about theater. We've been talking so much about Broadway. So it fits that our first question is Broadway related. What is the difference for 5,000 ride points between a Broadway theater and an off-Broadway theater?
Oh, good one.
The number of seats.
The number of seats!
Oh my goodness!
Oh my goodness, the captain got it! Okay, what's your real name, sir?
Richard.
Richard, Captain Richard
Captain
from
Richard.
Florida. That's right, the number of seats, 500 seats or more is a Broadway show, 100 to 499 is off-Broadway, 0 to 99 is off-Broadway, and 50 seats and 4 wheels is the ride. Amazing.
Ooh, we're on Broadway, off Broadway, sometimes so far from Broadway it can be considered off Broadway. Now, speaking of Broadway, is anybody seeing a show while they're in town? Anybody?
Yeah.
Oh, my friends in the front from Kansas, what are we seeing?
We saw Great Gatsby and The Lion King.
Whoa!
Oh, I
heard
love
they trained
that.
those lions really well. My other group in the front, what are we seeing? What? Michael Jackson. I have a spoiler. It's not the real guy.
Wow.
I'm sorry. Captain Richard, did I see your hand?
Stranger Things.
Stranger Things.
I love that
Ooh.
one. Now, Dorothy, were those lions in The Lion King, did they have any courage? I'm sorry, that was another Wizard of Oz joke. I'm so sorry.
You're rocking it. You're rocking it. Is
They're
anybody
right
else
there.
seeing anything? No? Oh my goodness. Well, there's lots of really great ways to see shows while you're in the city. There's the TKTS stairs. That little girl is really excited about the TKTS stairs. The Today Tix app and rushing the box office. But we just turned on to Madison Avenue.
That's right.
Let's catch up some of these ride points. For 5,000 ride points, what do you do on Madison Avenue?
Shop.
No.
Not shop.
Almost, though.
There was a show about it called Mad Men.
Business.
Business? What kind of business?
Marketing. Advertising.
Advertising!
Uh-oh.
That's
Captain Richard, we
right.
planted you.
There were advertising agencies on this street before the Civil War. The last one's just left in 2023. And all these big buildings get so many packages every single day.
They do.
There's 2.4 million package deliveries in New York City every single day. 40 of these buildings have their own postal zip codes, which is amazing.
That is. Saks Fifth Avenue actually has 2 zip codes. One for the full store and one just for the shoe department.
I see a UPS person in brown. Let's
you
get
do?
her attention with the right way. 1, 2, 3.
Hi.
UPS, how you doing? You're working in the rain. That's awful.
Oh my goodness.
What would you rather be doing, UPS? Oh, she likes the boogie. You know what? The ride, can you throw my friend over here a funky beat? Let's see what she's got.
Yo, man, here's a funky beat.
musical in the street.
Oh, make some noise! Amazing! Thank you, UPS. Now go get out of the rain.
Oh my goodness, only
Amazing.
in New York.
Wow!
I don't know who that is.
Wow!
You know what my favorite part about that performance
What was
was?
that?
When everybody stopped in the street and shared in that moment of joy and just enjoyed spontaneous performance.
I love that.
That didn't happen.
But guys, here we are. We're on Madison Avenue. I'm going to do a quick ride quiz, okay?
Okay.
This one's very easy. So this is only going to be for 8 ride points, okay? So this is for 8 ride points, okay? So for 8 ride points, Madison Avenue is named after President James Madison. For 8 ride points, what number president was James Madison? For 8 ride points.
8.
No, he was the 4th. Come on, read a book. That's right, he was the 4th president, and we know that because if you keep on going down 4th Madison Avenue, it actually turns into 4th Avenue as well. So 4th Avenue, 4th president. Amazing,
Wow.
yeah.
You really faked us out with that
I
one.
know, right? Wow.
We are going to be turning in just a moment, and we're going to see a very important statue here in New York as we make this turn. But before we do it, let's try and get some folks in the street to wave at us. On the count of 3, let's do a ride wave. 1, 2, 3.
Hi, hello.
Hi.
Hello,
Oh
shiny
my
jacket.
goodness. You're a disco ball.
Hello, shiny jacket.
Spin around. That lady did a little dance for us. She's been auditioning for months. We will not let her on.
No. Hi guys. Now you were talking about a statue, Jackie.
Yes, it is the kneeling fireman. We're going to see it in just a moment. It was originally from Parma, Italy, and it was meant to be shipped to Missouri to a fire station and museum there. It did unfortunately get stuck here during the events of September 2001. Got stuck here on September 11th. And when it got stuck here, they decided to allow us to keep it here. You'll see it right in there, yep. To symbolize Missouri's way of saying that they appreciate the way that they handled everything, and they wanted to honor the people who made certain sacrifices during that time. And the people in Parma, Italy thought that was so sweet that they actually made them one of their own. So now we have little matching ones.
I love that. But right now we're turning on to 5th Avenue. 5th Avenue, again, is known for one thing. For 1,000 points, what do you do on 5th Avenue?
Shop!
Shopping! There we go. But not just any kind of shopping, guys.
High-end.
High-end shopping.
Yeah.
You've got Gucci, you've got Prada, you've got Skechers. All of the high-end stores are right here.
I think on
Amazing.
5th Ave it's pronounced Skechers.
Oh, Skechers.
Ooh.
Yes.
5th Ave is a great place to be if you don't have a lot of time here in New York, but it's nice enough to walk, because if you head all the way down, you're going to see Museum Mile. You move up slightly, you're going to see St. Pat's Cathedral. If you move up even more, you'll see some of these lovely shops. If you continue on down, you'll get views of the Empire State Building, Grand Central Station, the Empire State Building, and you will also see Washington Square Park at the end over there.
I love that. As we go around the corner, we're going to see the New York City Public Library again.
Ooh.
We saw the back side before, but now we're going to get a great view of the front side. And we're going to see those 2 very iconic lions out the front. Originally, these lions were named Leo Lennox and Leo Astor, named after the founders of the library. But during the Great Depression, they were renamed Patience and Fortitude by Mayor LaGuardia, because he believed that patience and fortitude is what New Yorkers needed to get through the Great Depression. I would have thought food and the job, but who am I?
Yeah.
And we can see those 2 lions right over there. Now, the New York City Public Library is the 2nd largest library in the country, second only to the Library of Congress. I think of it kind of like an iceberg. It's big on top, just as big underground. It goes 4 stories underground.
Wow.
Because there are 88 miles of bookshelves inside this building. That's pretty amazing.
That is, and all of the aisles are so skinny, and there are so many books that they actually can't have a human librarian. Oh wait, everyone avert your gaze, it's a topless bus, she's indecent. It is so thin that they can't have a human librarian go down there, that there's actually a little book robot that will go and grab the books for you. It's also a research library, so you can't check anything out. It acts a little bit more like a museum.
Hello, riders. I'm sensing nature nearby.
Nature and bananas? That's right, bananas.
Oh my goodness,
But
so
here,
many
here we are.
bananas.
The ride, I can't see Bryant Park. What do we do when something's in our way? I can't see it at all from here. Bye.
Subject, vehicle blocking our view. Solution 1, honk horn. Solution 2, drive around. Solution 3, freeze the side.
Cruise vessels!
The ride's refund policy? Ha 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 ha.
Much
Good one.
better. There's our view. We can see them just put the stage up over there. They have a lot of free performances in Bryant Park during the summer. Monday nights become free movie nights. There's Broadway show performances during the week as well. Bryant Park really is a little oasis right here in the heart of the city. Maybe not on a rainy day like today, but on a beautiful summer day, this is a great place to kind of sit and have a coffee, just kind of watch the world go by.
Yeah.
Hopefully, peeking through the trees in a second, we'll get a glimpse of the spire of the Empire State Building. There it is up there.
Yeah.
We can just see the spire, but we all know what the Empire State Building looks like, right? Because it's the most photographed building in the world. It's iconic. But when they first built it, people didn't feel the same way. People were scared of it. No one wanted to go in it. At the time, it was the tallest building in the world. So, you know, it kind of got a nickname. They called it the Empty State Building. But then a movie came out, a movie called King Kong. And people said, you know what? If we can support the weight of a giant monkey, I'll be safe in there. And it was never empty again. And if you look up through the roof, this is the Bank of America Tower. You can see it goes all the way to heaven. Bank of America had a great year. They purchased heaven. But this is the 9th tallest building in New York City. Excuse me?
I'm just bored.
I'm talking about the 9th tallest building. That's super interesting.
We're in New York City. We only care about number 1. So for a very specific 1,776 ride points, what's the tallest building in New York City?
One World Trade Center.
Freedom Tower, right over here. What's your name, ma'am?
That's One World Trade Center.
Connolly? Beautiful name. Yes, you are so right. And it stands at a very patriotic 1,776 feet tall. And there's actually a law that stands that no building will ever be taller than the Freedom Tower.
That's right. Right now we are cruising down 6th Avenue, known as Skyscraper Alley, amongst other nicknames. This building right here in front of us, this is actually home to the Weather Channel. This is who we have to blame for today's weather. So let's give the Weather Channel a ride. Wave. 1, 2, 3. Hello!
Hey, one of these.
Throw your hands up, throw your hands up if you would like to. If you would not like to, get with the program. Throw your hands up. What's wrong with you? I'm looking at you. From front to back and side to side. Say the ride, the ride, the ride, the ride. Say the ride, the ride, the ride, the ride. Say the ride, stay dry. Okay, the ride. Meanwhile in the rain, I kick a little quick freestyle off the brain. It's dripping and pouring, I'm swishing and scoring like Pippen and Jordan till 6 in the morning. Also, my style is gifted in orange. We on the rideway and whipping the foreign. I hit them with a whole different assortment. You ain't New York, you native as Elizabeth Warren. Alright, throw your hands up in the sky. We're chilling on the ride and having a good time. I wish I had an umbrella, but I'm unprepared for the weather. We gotta get it all together, keep it covered. Off the top, I do my best, truly fresh. A couple water bottles. When I walk, I waddle. That's a UPS truck off the top with it. Got delivery. Oh yeah, spit it free vividly. Young fella, please watch your umbrella. Cause I'ma push it to the side while I'm cooking to the ride if you hit me in my head. Alright. Yo, I really hate you. Yo, someone hit me with the in my head with the umbrella before. Push! Boy, so watch your umbrella. Keep good etiquette. Set a precedent. Oh yeah, guaranteed. Yo, we working it. Yo, how you doing? Yankees fans mad about Juan Soto. Living rent free, tempt me, you already know. I forbid entry, I'm like a sentry, keep it watch. Off the top, pastel colors. Yo, I really like it. Join the Navy, Ivan met me eyes like it was in the Simpsons. I'm winning. Shout out the ride. I'm gonna get dry. Goodbye. Peace. Later.
Wow! 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 Does that happen in Florida? Do you get wrapped out like that on the streets?
Usually with a couple more curse words.
I go, ooh, I love it. They cursing down there in Florida.
No. The thing about New York is we keep it very clean. That's what New York is known for, being clean.
Being clean.
Another nickname for this area, you were saying Skyscraper Alley.
I mentioned Skyscraper Alley, yeah.
You did. Let's look up through the ceiling and you can see why we named it that. It is the highest concentration of skyscrapers here in Manhattan. And we are able to do this because of a bedrock underneath the ground called Manhattan schist.
Oh, whoa. Excuse me, now you're cussing like a sailor.
I know. There's an extra S though, so let's try and say it all together as a group. Schist.
Shit!
Oh wow, we've got quite the schist talkers aboard today. Yes, it is a type of bedrock that can support the weight of these heavy skyscrapers. You have to mine it with literal dynamite in order for you to even put any buildings in, and it's what gives New York such an iconic skyline. It is high in the financial district, dips down to the villages, back up again here in Midtown, and then down again as well.
That's right, but we're kind of in like a media mecca part of 6th Avenue right now. We just passed News Corp. Right behind us is Rockefeller Center, home of SNL, Jimmy Fallon, to name a few. Right across the way from us, we can see this building, 1221 Avenue of the Americas. Now, if you like Howard Stern and his radio show, this is where he records for Sirius XFM. If you like SNL, they shoot a lot of sketches over here. They use these stairs in the opening sequence. If you like the TV show Suits, this is where Suits was filmed as well. And this was also Miranda Priestley's office in The Devil Wears Prada. So lots of kind of movie sites and media right here in 6th Avenue. But you also might have noticed there's a lot of tall buildings around here.
Yeah.
There's not that many restaurants. There's a couple of high-end restaurants. Definitely not enough to feed all of these people every day. So where do these people eat? Food carts. There are more food carts here in Midtown Manhattan than anywhere else in the city because they feed all of these businesses every single day. The ride, buddy, can you tell us a little bit about a food cart?
Affirmative. Subject, food cart. Number of food carts in New York City, over 3,000. Cost to rent a food cart for 1 year, $3,000. Number of regulations regarding meat served, 0. Percent it matters when drunk and hungry, 0.
True.
Cost of meal, $4 for kebab, $5 for roll aids.
Wow.
That's very true.
Has anybody been here been brave enough to try a food cart? What do we have? Oh, no, you haven't? She was like, no, we have not. But you know what? We are telling a little bit of a fib here. All of the food carts here use the same food grading system as lots of the restaurants. So what you're looking for in both restaurants and food carts is that little white piece of paper with a blue letter A. A means A-OK, B means be careful, and C means closing soon. Anything after that, don't worry about it.
That's right. But right now we are making our way into the area known as New Times Square. We call it New Times Square because there used to be an old Times Square. Back in the 60s and the 70s and the early 90s, Times Square was a very, very different place. While I'm talking about this is a great time also to pull out those cameras. In just a second we're going to get a great view looking down into Times Square. But like I said, in the 70s, 80s, early 90s, Times Square was very different. Now, let me explain it to you. There was still a lot of lights back then, but they were mostly red lights. And the area was more of a district than anything else. If you wanted something called The Ride, it would have been a very different experience. We would have made a lot more money. But in the early 90s, Mayor Giuliani came along and they got together with the Disney Corporation because Disney wanted to start doing shows here. They're like, well, how do we clean up Times Square? How do we get rid of all these shady people or this shady activity? Well, how do you get rid of shady people? You get rid of the shade. How do you get rid of the shade? Big, bright lights. It was that simple. They came up with Ordinance 81K, the spectacular law. All of these big, bright lights you see all over Times Square, they're called spectaculars. And this law means that they need to be on 24 hours a day at a minimum brightness, and it worked. The bright lights scared away the shady people, and today, Times Square is one of the safest neighborhoods in New York City. Not only that, it's actually 2 degrees warmer Fahrenheit in Times Square than the rest of New York City.
It is, it's true. Now, they take this so seriously that if these lights are ever to go out, the business, the restaurant, the theater is fined an indefinite amount by the minute. There's a blackout here in New York. The backup generators are in New Jersey. It gives New Jersey something to do. But it makes sure. Oh, do we have some New Jersey fans on board? I'm sorry.
Nobody really
it's
likes
only going to get worse from here. But I am telling a little bit of a fib. These lights do go out once every day. But first, look right down here. You can see that beautiful view. It looks like a pinball
Oh,
machine.
look at that. It's gorgeous.
You can also see the 2025 in the poll where that New Year's Eve ball will be. If you miss it over here when we cross Broadway in a second, you will get it as well. But like I was saying, there is one time a day when these lights all dim and they
11:57 to
sync
midnight.
up.
We have to go see that
That is
tonight.
called the midnight moment. It happens every night at 11:57. So midnight moment is a little bit of a lie. What happens is all of these lights dim together and they sync up with a local artist display. I've never seen it because at 11:57 I'm home reading the Bible. But I've heard it is a beautiful sight, folks.
Yeah,
definitely something to check out.
Definitely check it out. It's so nice to be in Times Square. All the advertising goes away and you just see these beautiful works of art. But let's leave Times Square in our wake and let's head over to the next neighborhood, Hell's Kitchen.
Ooh.
Now, originally Hell's Kitchen was, where a lot of dock workers, a lot of migrant workers lived very, very close to the Hudson River. Then in the 40s and 50s, a lot of actors, a lot of jazz musicians moved into Hell's Kitchen, very, very close to Broadway. This area used to also be hopping with jazz bars as well. Today, Hell's Kitchen is one of the most expensive neighborhoods in New York City. And it's also known as a great place to grab a bite to it as well. Check out 46th Street. We call that Restaurant Row. There's 30 or 40 local New York City restaurants. This is one of my favorite hot places over here. This is Ho Ho Thai. That's where Santa eats when he's in town at Christmas time. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you for that. But as we go around the corner, we're going to see this building. This is called Worldwide. Well, why are you shushing me the right? Oh, look over there. Look over there.
Oh, wow.
So lucky to see a ballerina in the wild like that is so rare.
Yeah.
Now, Worldwide Plaza there, that is actually the location of where Marilyn Monroe sang happy birthday to her very, very close platonic friend, JFK, back in the day. But right now we are cruising down 8th Avenue, and right below us is the New York City subway line, specifically the ACE line. The Ryan, can you tell us more about the subway, buddy? Please. Thank you.
Subject, New York City subway system. Number of riders daily, 5.1 million. Miles of track, 835. Number of stations, 468. Chance you will smell something funky, 100%.
Yep.
That's true.
It's actually an outdated statistic. Now it is 200%.
Yeah.
Tip from a local New Yorker: if you see full car, empty car, full car, do not get in that empty car. You didn't find a seat, my friend. You found a cent. Ooh.
That's right, but you know, the subway is the best way to get around
It
town.
is.
I want to point this out also, if you're a fan of the band Fleetwood Mac, this is where they used to hang out in the 70s. This is Rumors. Yeah, amazing. But also, talking about other cool things, look over Jackie's shoulder. This is Hearst Tower. Now, if you look through the bottom window and then look through the top window, it looks like two completely different buildings.
Yeah.
So Hearst Tower was started to be built back in the 1920s, but the Great Depression came along and no one could, well, they couldn't afford to finish their building. They ran out of money. So the building stopped right there at 6 stories. You can see exactly where they finished building it. And the building sat like that for almost 100 years. It got the nickname the world's shortest skyscraper. Then fast forward to the early 2000s, the Hearst Corporation was doing better for themselves. They had more money. They're like, this is great, we can finish our building. But the city said, no, 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 you can't touch it. It's now landmarked. So lawyers did what lawyers do, and they discovered that only the outside of the building was landmarked, not the inside. So they scooped out the middle, much like you would with a bad melon, and they built their brand new tower inside the shell of the original Hearst Tower.
Wow, it's old on the bottom, new on top, like Tom Cruise's face.
Oh!
That building on the inside is an LEED certified building, which means that it runs on green energy. Those windows look like they are cut in a geometric way just for the design. It is not. It is to optimize the amount of natural light they can get in that building. When it rains, they collect the rainwater, and that's how they cool down the building. If we have any fans of the amazing Spider-Man, that building is Oscorp. They just CGI'd a pointy top on it, but it also has a huge history here in New York because it was the first building to break ground after 9/11.
That's right. Here we are. We are making our way to Columbus Circle, gateway to the Upper West Side. The Upper West Side is a neighborhood definitely worth exploring. But you can see this is a roundabout. This is one of the only roundabouts we have in New York City. Now, for my friends from other places, you know what a roundabout's for, right? You put in a roundabout, you don't need traffic lights anymore. You're good to go. Here in New York, we did it a little bit differently. We put in a roundabout, and then we put 16 sets of traffic lights around that roundabout. We messed up a circle because New Yorkers are not polite. We will not give way to anybody. We need to be told where to go and when to go.
I think we got the round part right, just not the about. If you look in front of us, you will see Deutsche Bank Center. Did we have friends from Germany today? Was I right? We have brought you to your bank. Put your money here. She didn't like that one.
Well, that was so
It's a vertical shopping experience, which is just fancy New York talk for a mall. There's free restrooms here and Whole Foods where you can buy one apple for $10. I'm being so honest, they have an apple for $10 there. And above it, you're going to see these 2 USB buildings. On the left is some apartments that had residents such as Cameron Diaz, Tom Brady, Josh Groban, and Sonia Morgan, season 9 of Real Housewives of New York. On the other side is the Mandarin Orient Hotel. It is one of the most expensive hotel stays here in New York City. I believe it is the second. The rack room, so the cheapest room you can get there is $950 a night. The penthouse goes for $11,000 a night, and if that sounds cheap to you, see me after the show. But also come back during the holiday season because it is $36,000 a night.
That's right. And speaking about expensive things, look up over here. This is Central Park Tower. That's the second tallest building in New York City. That's the tallest residential building in the world. The person who lives in that penthouse apartment has the highest private residence on planet Earth. And that apartment recently sold for $150 million. If you look to its left, you can see that kind of very tall, skinny skyscraper. That's Steinway Tower. That penthouse apartment is currently on the market for $110 million.
Wow.
Now, these buildings are so tall, we call them super tall buildings, but they're so tall that they actually sway in the breeze. And they sway so much that the people in the apartments were complaining that the water in their toilet bowls was spilling onto the floor in the bathroom. That's right. If you look really close at some of these buildings, you'll see that actually some of the apartments are missing, and they've created wind tunnels passing through the buildings to stop the resistance so that they don't sway as much in the breeze. Amazing.
People in those penthouse apartments also began complaining because they heard what sounded like explosions in their apartment. And it took them weeks to figure out what it was. Turns out when you use a trash chute in a building that high, the velocity with which it falls, it makes it sound like an explosion. You know what? My apartment isn't, overlooking Central Park, nor is it $1.10 million, but at least I don't have toilet water on my floor and it's quiet.
Hell yeah.
Who's really winning?
But look at this. There's Christopher Columbus himself. Now, you might notice this statue. When we built it, we didn't know what Columbus looked like. There was no pictures of him. So we actually based him off Lord Farquhar from the movie Shrek. That's right. He went looking for the free world, but instead he found the Muffin Man.
And much in the spirit of Christopher Columbus, he's simply looking the wrong way. Because if he was angled just slightly, he'd get an absolutely beautiful view of the biggest celebrity here in New York City, Central Park. Now this is the star of over 300 TV shows, films, and every cold open of Law and Order. Dun dun. It is meant to be a break from the rigid grid system we have here in New York. So, show of hands, who here has been to Central Park? Keep those hands up if you got lost. Oh, if you got lost, an extra 1,000 ride points to you. You're doing it right. There's no right angles. There's no straight lines. There's no one path from one side to the other. It's made for New Yorkers literally to get lost in. Because what's more relaxing than losing your bearings in the wilderness?
Exactly, but I love Central Park. It is such a great place. There's so many cool things to do. You've got Sheep Meadow right in the middle. You've got Boulder Scrambles. There's an Alice in Wonderland statue and garden. You've got Strawberry Fields on the Upper West Side as well. So many amazing things. Check it out. Something else I want you to check out right over Jackie's shoulder. This building here, this is called Alwyn Court. Now, again, built during the 1920s, designed to be inner city mansion living for the uber wealthy. But the Great Depression came along and no one could afford to live there. So what they did was, what was originally about 22 apartments was quickly chopped up into what is now over 70 apartments. But they did those renovations so quickly they made a lot of mistakes. So there are hallways in that building going nowhere, staircases going into ceilings. When it first opened up, people would open up their kitchen cabinet and be looking into their neighbor's bathroom. So today, it's still one of the most expensive places to live in New York City because of its design faults. This was the inspiration to the scary movie and book Rosemary's Baby. A lot of celebrities have lived here over the years. Liam Neeson used to live in here. He moved out when his daughter was taken, though. Yeah.
Now they wanted to film Rosemary's Baby in Alwyn Court, the building that inspired it. But unfortunately, they did not want the film crew to get lost, and the blueprints were too confusing. So they went over and they filmed it at the Dakota, which is where John Lennon and Yoko Ono live.
I know, and right in here we have Carnegie Hall, named after Scottish steel tycoon Andrew Carnegie. Now, Andrew Carnegie, he was the richest man in the world in his lifetime. If you live in America, if you live in the UK, there's a very big chance you have a Carnegie Library because he built thousands of them. He was quite a philanthropist. He died penniless. He gave away his wealth on his deathbed to art institutions, libraries, universities, things like that. Amazing.
Yeah, there's actually 3 halls inside of Carnegie Hall. There's Weil, Zenkel, and...
Whoa. I hear music.
I am too. Is somebody's phone?
Oh, it's this person with the guitar. She sounds amazing. Let's give her a round of applause. Hey!
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
What are you doing out there?
I'm busking.
Busking, playing for tips. Now, I heard the buskers in New York make $500 a day. Is that true?
That is not true.
Oh.
I wish.
Okay.
Can I ask, how much have you made?
I have $2 today, and I put one of them in the case.
Oh, no. What were you playing?
Just a little bit jazz.
Okay. Do we have any jazz
Any
fans
jazz
on
fans?
board?
Any jazz heads?
Okay. We've got jazz fans with jazz hands.
Yeah.
Can I give you some unsolicited advice?
Yeah, of course.
Maybe if you played something a little bit more poppy and upbeat. I mean, it's kind of gross outside. Maybe people need a little pick-me-up.
Yeah. Okay. I can do that. I have an idea. Okay. How about that one? Well, sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water.
Okay.
And I think of all the things what you're doing. In my head, I'll paint a picture. Well, since I've come on home, well, my body's been a mess. And I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over? Stop making a fool out of me. Why don't you come on over, my way?
to meet you.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, you guys don't know each other?
No.
What?
No, we
That
just
is
met.
so random. Do you think lightning can strike twice and you could do one more song for us?
Yeah, of course. Do you mind to stick around? Yeah, we can do something. Sure. Okay, let's do, do you know, Perfect. Okay, you know that one.
To say you are the luckiest group of people we've ever had on the ride. This has never happened before.
No.
Singing, dancing, rapping never ever happened. We normally drive around, we look at buildings and we talk about buildings, but today it's a Memorial Day miracle.
And we never have performers with microphones attached to our butts.
Never! Oh my goodness, luckiest group of people ever. You can go back to Kansas and tell the Scarecrow and the Tin Man that you were there on the day that magic
feeling really
happened.
guilty. I'm feeling
Why?
really guilty because we're lying to them.
They're from Florida, they don't know any difference.
Maybe it's our job to tell them.
Okay, tell them the truth. I don't want to break their hearts.
Okay, all right, so fine. When you move to New York as a performer, you sign the lease to your apartment, they hand over your keys, they hand over a mic pack, then they'll hand over some tap shoes, a guitar if you're lucky, and then you are legally obligated to perform for buses that only have windows on one side and on the top.
It's true.
And if you can't keep up, well then they think of about just the worst punishment they could give you. And I don't even know if I can say this part, it makes me nauseous.
You gotta tell them.
They send you to New Jersey. No!
The understudy state.
Yeah, I've lost so many roommates to New Jersey.
But you know what? I just looked at my wrist and I saw that we are 1 hour into our 36-hour trip. 35 more hours to go, guys. We're going to go everywhere, uptown, downtown, funky town. But we have some unfinished business.
We do.
We need to find the winner of our Ride Quiz. This is the final Ride Quiz.
Yeah.
And we're going to find ourselves a winner.
Cha-cha.
And the winner's going to buy us dinner.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
Thank you so much. But here's the thing.
So nice.
I don't know who's winning. We've given away so many points today.
We have.
Points over here, points over there. I can't count. I can't keep up. So let's do this. One more question. Winner takes all. Let's do it. I'm feeling some inspiration. Guys, what color are taxi cabs?
Yellow.
Yes, you're all paying attention. They are yellow. But it's a very specific shade of yellow. It's called golden rod yellow or drink more water yellow.
Ew.
So friends, for all the points, why are taxis yellow?
Why not?
Why not? That's a good kind of apathetic answer, almost.
Visibility?
Why?
Visibility.
Visibility! Whoa, that's right, that's the captain! That's right, so you can see them.
Oh my goodness, that makes Captain Richard our Ride Quiz champion!
Yeah.
Captain Richard is the champion, my friends.
Richard!
And Captain Richard keeps on fighting till the end.
Captain Richard!
Captain Richard is the champion. Captain Richard is the champion. The rest of you are losers. Because Captain Richard is the champion of the ride.
Quiz, Captain Richard, you have won a seatbelt! Woo!
Wow, that's right. You've also won, if you would like to take a picture with me and Jackie after the ride in front of the bus, let Jackie know on your way out if you want to do that. We won't be offended if you don't, but if you do, let us know. We don't force ourselves on anybody. Amazing. Wow!
Wow.
Wow!
Wow.
You know, an hour ago we asked a question.
We did.
What makes New York City the greatest city in the world?
Yes.
And I think we've found the answer here today. I think it's the people.
Yeah.
It's the people who live here. It's the people who visit here. It's the people. No one just turns up in New York City.
No.
People come here because they're drawn to the city. They want to be part of something bigger than themselves. Be part of this amazing city. I could go on and get wax poetic, but I know the Ride's got some thoughts on this.
Yeah.
So Ride, can you share your thoughts on this, brother?
New York City is 303 square miles that contain 150 nationalities that speak 170 languages, 18,696 restaurants, 237 theaters, 86 skyscrapers, and countless only in New York moments. If I may quote journalist Alistair Cook,
You may.
New York is the biggest collection of villages in the world.
Wow.
In my highly educated estimate, I would conclude that our 8 million residents and 47 million visitors are trying to live in the whole world at once.
Yeah. I mean, that's beautiful, and that really sums it all up. I think New York City has this kind of magic to it that brings so many people here. So thank you, genuinely, from the bottom of our hearts, for choosing to spend your rainy afternoon with us. It means so much. Without you, we can't do what we do.
That's right. Give yourselves a round of applause. You are an amazing group of people. So good. And guys, see this bus here? This is why we always put our roof back on after we raise the roof at the start of the show, because otherwise we'd all be getting wet right now. That is right. But here we are. We're going to make our way back into the area of Times Square.
Yeah.
Right behind us is the M&M store. Now, has anyone been to the M&M store yet? Anyone?
This is a really good show.
Couple of people maybe, but here's the thing. Did you know that the M&M store is the most visited place in Times Square?
Wow.
And Times Square is the most visited place in New York City.
Okay.
And New York City is the most visited city in America. So, ipso facto, the most visited place in America is the M&M store. Which you can be cynical about, but I'm not, because I think the one thing that brings us all together is chocolate. There's something kind of nice about that. I love that.
And there's lots of businesses here in Times Square, but the M&M store is one of the only ones to actually turn a profit. The only other one to turn a profit is the Disney store. Everybody else is just here for the foot traffic, for people to film, take TikTok videos, take pictures, whatever that may be, and for New Year's Eve as well.
That's right. And also, does everyone know the Naked Cowboy? Does everyone know the Naked Cowboys? The M&M store actually made the Naked Cowboy a millionaire. When the M&M store first opened, they put out a range of M&Ms with local New York City celebrities on them. And they did one with the Naked Cowboy. Little did they know that the Naked Cowboy had trademarked his look. And so they put an M&M out with his picture and ultimately ended up having to pay him millions of dollars for that mistake. Amazing. So, kid, do we have any kids on board? Because I was going to say, if your parents tell you to go to college, get an education, it's not true. Walk around with a guitar in your underwear and you can become a millionaire. It's possible. Who needs an education? Yeah.
Not us. We are going to be passing by the Hershey store in just a moment. Now, a fun little pro tip from the Hershey store, you get free chocolate every time you walk in. And they just so happen to always be selling hats and sunglasses on the side of the street, so you can really go in as many different people as you want. Also, right now they have s'mores, I found out the other day, so if you're just craving a $15 s'more, you can head on over to the Hershey store.
I love s'mores. Right in front of us, we can see these kind of big barn doors in the side of this thing right here. That's actually a stage that opens up, and the little stage comes out, and people do performances right here in the heart of Times Square. You know what? Speaking of performances, why don't we do one? Why don't we do some New York City karaoke?
Follow along with the lyrics on the screen if they're not already in your heart. Sing it loud, sing it proud. You'll never see the people in this specific bus or the street ever again. And the people you'll see on the bus again is honestly on you because you came with us. So let's
start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I want to be a part of it. New York, New York. These vagabond shoes are longing to stray.
How do you kill a vampire?
Right through the very heart of it. New York. doesn't sleep.
I haven't slept in 3 days.
And find I'm king of the hill.
Wait for it.
Top of the heap. These little town blues are melting away. I'll make a brand new start of it in old New York. If I can make it there, I'll make it anywhere. It's up to you. New York, New York.
Choreography. Raise those hands in the air. And here we go. To the right, to the left, to the right.
New York, New York. I want to wake up in a city that doesn't sleep
We're all afraid to close our eyes.
and find I'm a number one, top of the list,
What else?
king of the hill, a number one. These little town blues are melting away. I'm gonna make a brand new start of it in old New York.
It's up to you and you and you and you and you and you. New York. Give yourselves a round of applause. Amazing. Wow. Wow, you know what? That song took 35 hours
Wow.
and brought us almost back to where we began. The power of music.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with that Sinatra. One time I sang My Way and it became my whole day.
Oh,
Holy moly.
wow.
But you know what? It's just going to take us about 35 more hours because we need to park the largest street legal vehicle here in New York. So here's some tips and tricks from some local New Yorkers. My biggest piece of advice, find your way out of Midtown. Check out the other neighborhoods. Check out the other boroughs. My favorite place to eat is Chinatown. There's a place called Hopkee, Hopkee. Don't post it on TikTok. I'll find you. I need this. It is some very cheap, very delicious dumplings. It's in a basement. It's cash only, and you'll be in and out in 20-25 minutes. Could not recommend it more.
That's right. And speaking about all things food, I'm going to recommend you eat pizza, pizza, pizza. New York City is the best pizza in the whole wide world. There's some great places you can go. You can check out John's on Bleecker Street, an iconic place here in New York City. If you want to walk across the Brooklyn Bridge, which everyone should do, right there at the base of the Brooklyn Bridge in Brooklyn is Grimaldi's Pizza. Now it's the second oldest pizza place in New York City. It is very, very cool. You'll burn off all those calories walking across the bridge, then put them straight back on again at Grimaldi's, but well worth it. And also check out the New York City bagel as well. The reason the bagels and the pizzas are so good here is because of the New York City water. We have what they call hard water, very high in minerals and nutrients. Other parts of the country actually ship in New York City water so they can make New York City bagels outside of New York City. So definitely get a New York City bagel, some cream cheese on there, you're good to go.
Yeah, check out Chelsea Highline when you're in town as well. It used to be an above-ground train track, which was now converted into a green space. Basically, they turned it into a hike. And once you come off, you can check out Chelsea Market, which has lots of little food stands and little souvenir shopping. It's a really fun area, and it's not too far from here. Chelsea is just about a train stop away, or if you want to walk, you can totally walk it as well.
And when you get off there at Chelsea Market, right there as well, you have Little Island, the brand new park. built inside the Hudson River. It stands on top of 128 stilts which have been buried into the river. Check it out. They have live music and live shows there as well, all for free. So check out Little Island. There's so much to do in New York City. It's on a rainy day like this, go check out the Met, one of the world's great art galleries. But one more time, if you took any pictures here today, make sure you share them at the Ride NYC. The Ride's going to put up a little scan code in a minute as well. Make sure you scan that if you want to. Tell us how much fun you had here today. Amazing.
If you liked us, we've been Jackie and Scott. If you don't like us, we're Top View Buses.
That is right. Now, while we try to make our final descent, to stay in your seats for 1 second so it's all safe and dandy. Other things, go check out Brooklyn as well. Brooklyn is a great neighborhood to explore. Williamsburg is very, very close and a lot of fun to walk around, see hipsters in their native environment, but some great local bars and restaurants over there in Williamsburg as well.
Take the Staten Island ferry, see the Statue of Liberty for free. It's a beautiful view. It's about a 25-minute ride. Then once you get to Staten Island, you can do my favorite thing to do in Staten Island. You can leave. Also for free.
That's right. If you like to have a drink, go and check out the White Horse Tavern down there in the Village. That's where Dylan Thomas used to drink. That's where John Belushi and all those guys used to drink as well. It's a really great old local New York City bar, very much the same as it was back in the day. So check out the White Horse. But here we are. I think we've almost made it. The ride. Have you got any final words for my friends?
Please watch your step as you leave the ride. Make sure to join me again as we continue to conduct research in New York and in cities around the world.
Thank you guys, we loved having you here today. If you love being here, share some of that love with my friend Jackie on the way out. It's not expected, it's appreciated. Thank you so very much. Stay dry, but now, like my father said to me on my 18th birthday, get out. Thank you guys, thank you so much.
No, it's not about the show though.
Go on. So how do you feel about it? What was the complaint
It
you
was
had?
actually really cool. The seat was uncomfortable.
Yes, it's the way they built these buses back in the day. Believe it or
That's
not,
my only complaint.
it was different. It's something you
It's a
wouldn't
neat
know what
idea.
it was.
And I wouldn't have done it. Like, I wouldn't have.
So
but
they
it was actually
combined,
pretty
they
cool.
used to have something called the tour that would do a tour without the singing and dancing.
Yeah.
And then the ride, and they just kind of combined it all together.
Yeah.
I think it's a cute little concept. I'll tell you the important thing. So I'm going to tell you the Groupon rate and the rates they have listed. I think that's important. As of May 2025, we're in May 2025, their rate, if you book it with them, is $79. You get it for about $35 on Groupon.
I would pay the 35. I would not pay the other.
That's what I'm trying to say. Is just so that people know where the prices are. They've been with Groupon for a while. Our bus was half full. So our bus was half full, so it means that they're going to stay on Groupon for a while, if that makes sense. I don't. And there was a person behind the curtain controlling everything. There's basically a curtain where the bathroom would be on that bus, and that's the control center. But it's actually very interestingly technically done because they're having to switch between different microphone transmitters, and the people are running around between the buses and everything like that.
No, that was actually kind of unexpected.
You didn't know that was going to happen, did you?
I had no clue. No.
That's the thing I kept you in the dark about. Like when the guy started dancing with the broom, you were like, something's up.
This is a little different.
Something's up. But
because like New Yorkers don't just.
That's their idea. Here's the thing. They were joking and they weren't joking. Pretty much, if you move into New York as an actor, that's your starting job. Is being on the streets or being there,
doing stuff.
And then you work your way up. Like I'm gonna take you to a diner. That's like where all the people in Broadway started. It's right down this way. And they're singing waitresses in the diner, and then they eventually get picked up, and they get on Broadway shows. It's kind of a weird place. But this is Richard. Take over these Pirate Bill from No Pants Profit saying, hey, the ride's a good time, but buy the tickets on Groupon. And when you wear no pants, what's the only thing you got left to lose?
Your shirt.
I got the cool tiki shirt on today. We need some cool tiki drinks. We're gonna make that happen
tonight.
But we'll see you later.